Couple Journey, where we talk about immigration process, J1 teachers, how to live here in the US as a non-immigrant, from a Filipino, now a legal permanent resident here in the United States of America. We are so happy to tell you that based on experience and based on what I see here in the US, that January to June is the hiring season. They are already starting to get applications for those aspiring teachers from different countries, just like the Philippines, to come and teach here in the US. One of which is the J1 Teacher Exchange Cultural Program. For those who are interested to teach here in the US, there is a way for you to come here, which is through a teacher exchange cultural program with a visa sponsor. You can either go here through an agency, which I did use that route. However, you will have to pay for your visa sponsor, you'll have to pay for your agency, you'll have to pay for your plane tickets, and many other expenses that is expected of you once you have an agency. However, if you'll go to a direct route with a almost free placement fee, then it will be great since you will only have to spend a little bit of money compared to having an agency. So, what are you waiting for? If you wanted to know more about this, please stay tuned to this video. I always do my live videos every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and then another live video during Sundays at 2 p.m. And I will have my long form video every Friday at 2 p.m. That way, this is going to be my way of sharing my ideas to you from a previous school teacher who knows the ins and out of the teaching career here in the US, especially with the J1 waiver process. So, come to think of it, there's a lot of opportunities to explore, especially that there's a teacher shortage here in the US. And first off, if you are really willing to teach here in the US, make sure that there is plenty of courage that you're going to bring to yourself. It's not easy to teach here in the US. It's not that easy as a route. I came here in the US in the year 2018, 2019 rather, started my application in the year 2018 and did the process properly. By January, that's really when they're going to tell you that there is an opportunity for you to teach. For those who are watching, welcome to Powerful Couple Journey. If you are interested in teaching here in the US, please join us and I'm going to let you know the step by step process. So, first thing is how to apply as an international teacher through do it yourself process, or we call this direct hiring. Bring a lot of courage because it's not easy to teach here. That's what I always tell my co-teachers. We have J1 Waiver Helping Hands group, and most of them are J1 teachers, and they are really helping each other. We are helping each other to get that waiver. But this time, if your route is to come here and teach as a J1 teacher, this is the way. And if you wanted to do this in a direct hiring, then this is going to be the video for you. Please invite for those who wanted to watch and take note the process, and for those who are teachers in the Philippines especially, this will be for you. So, things to know. Step 1, how am I eligible to work as a teacher in the US? So that would be a question for yourself. But again, go back to your most important thing. Have courage to teach here in the US. It's not easy. I'm telling you, based on experience, and based on the experience of other people. We're not going to sugarcoat here because this is a real experience that I have, and I'm sharing this to you now since I'm learning the ins and outs of the process in teaching here. Next is you are going to tell yourself as an aspirant J1 teacher. J1 teacher is a teacher exchange cultural program, and you can ask yourself if you are eligible. One, be proficient in English language. We know that the first language here in the US is English. They might have other languages that they're using, like Spanish, but most importantly, English language is what really most important in this aspect. Number two, hold at a minimum equivalent of US bachelor's degree in education or academic subject in which you plan to teach. Like, for example, I am a general education teacher, which is an elementary teacher, have a bachelor's degree in education. I also have my master's degree in education, major in educational management, which I haven't used that one here. It's not really important. So if ever you are wanting to pursue more money, and like Arizona, New Mexico, they are reciprocating most of your um, equivalency when it comes to your master's degree. Focus on um, your master's in education, major in English, major in science, major in math. Those are very important here. So focus on the English, math, and science. And make sure as well that if, for example, you're from the Philippines or from any other countries, have your foreign credential evaluation. Number three, be pursuing to enter the US for the sole purpose of teaching full time at a secondary or primary accredited school. I taught in primary school. I taught first grade, second grade, kindergarten, third, fourth, and fifth grade. But I really stick to kindergarten since my principal allowed me to have that specialty, which is very close to my heart. Then number four, meet the qualifications for teachers. Jack Soccer Ball. Hello, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you watching our live video. For those who are interested in life here in the US and how to become a J1 teacher, this video is for you. Next, I said meet the qualifications for the US state where you are intending to teach. So, like for example, here in the state of Florida, you no longer need to take an exam for the teacher licensure here because you can use your foreign credential evaluation to have a temporary certificate, which I had before. Then, if you wanted to pursue more, like let's just say after your third year, then take a test and then pass that one. That way, if you could go back to the Philippines for 2 years to fulfill the 2 year rule as a J1, because that's always going to be the case, then make sure that you already have your teaching certificate, and boom, you can make your own way to go back here in the US to teach again. And teachers have been compensated most likely in a lot of states. So know the demographics and know the place that you would like to grab with higher salary and low cost of living. Five, have a minimum of 2 to 3 years of teaching or related professional experience, which is very important. 2 to 3 years of teaching experience, and most preferred is currently teaching. Why? You will need to have the current style, learning style to teach, and classroom management. That's a big deal when it comes to your classroom management because that's their basis in hiring you. That's their basis on how you can let these students listen to you because their attention is everywhere. So, as a teacher, how can you let these kids listen to you? How can you let these students be able to grab their attention and you teach them the curriculum? That's the most important thing. Number six, meet the qualifications for teaching in secondary or primary schools in their home country or last legal residence. So that means you are teaching currently. Step two, what are the necessary requirements to teach in the US? Foreign Credential Evaluation, that is FCE. The transcript of records and your diploma is a must have and be evaluated with the foreign credential evaluation The list of FCE companies are WES. That's gonna be applications.wes.org. Look at it in the internet. And if you wanted to get this template, please comment down below in the comment section. That way, I can send this to you and give me your email. I can send this to you for free if you want to, because this is my way of really helping you guys if you have the courage to teach here in the US. Then spantrend.com, that is one of the foreign credential evaluation as well. Use your own currency if you want. Like, for example, in the Philippines, you would either need to prepare $100 to $120, which is most probably like 6,000 pesos. So if you are very courageous enough, and as an aspirant J1 teacher, you can come here in the US most definitely by August, September, or October, which is the start of the school year 2025-2026, which is very exciting news. Then, once you've gathered all your requirements, you may start applying for schools directly, and there are two ways to do that. Number one, prepare your resume, cover letter, reference letters, transcript of records to the school districts. How can you do that? Emails. You will find schools in the internet. Like, for example, you will go to www.alaskateacher.org. Those teachers in Alaska are very much compensated because Alaska, we all know, it's a very cold state, and not all teachers are wanting to really have that um, kind of weather and environment. So they are really well compensated, and their salary is ranging from $62,000 all the way to, let's just say, $110,000 annually. And that is really a big thing for Alaskan teachers. So if that's you, go for that route. Or you could also find some schools in specific locations like in Florida or California, New York. It depends on you. There are 50 states in the United States of America, and I'm sure there are plenty of slots that you can use. And for those that are willing to know the step by step process, this is the one that I'm showing you. Then, number two, search for schools and apply on their school website. I'll repeat, apply on the school website. How will you know if it's legit? They have their own like pictures and some demographics is showing you with the pictures of the principal, and they really have where you can click career jobs. That is where you can click as well. So it's really important to know if you're wanting to reach out and have your registration. Check if the school is offering an H1B or a J1. How would you know this? You will have to reach out to like an HR, they have email. Use the email on the internet. Everything now is online. So do that one, and please make sure you'll not give any money. I'm telling you, do not give any money if that school, particular school, let's just say, because maybe that's a scam um, website online, never have any payments. This is no payment at all when it comes to the school district. So you have two options, either J1 or H1B. What's the difference between J1 and H1B visa holder? J1 is a teacher exchange cultural program which can range to teach 3 years to 5 years. And after that, you need to fulfill the 2 year rule, 2 year home residency requirement, not unless you're gonna get married to an American, have your American US born citizen child here, and get a waiver or other types of waiver that you can get. So, not unless you will get that route, you still have to fulfill the 2 year rule back to your home country for 2 years. How about H1B? H1B is different. It's a dual intent visa, which means your employer will process everything for you. It's going to be the cost to your employer where they can give you a work permit and a dual intent, which is a green card, a legal permanent residence card. That's the difference. And when it comes to the J1, if you got married to your home country already, you can bring your dependents as a J2 dependent, which means they can work here if they are a working adult. They can work immediately if they are also a school teacher, which is very good because both of you are gaining a lot of tractions when it comes to the annual salary as a school teacher. But if you are an H1B visa holder, your spouse cannot work right away, not unless there's already a pending petition from your employer, which we call H4 for your dependent. So that's going to be the catch. However, it's a dual intent, which means you can come here after your employer decides that they will going to give you that option and opportunity to really become a legal permanent resident here in the US, then H1B is a very good route to come here in the United States of America. Step 3. For J1 visa aspirants only, secure a job offer. I repeat myself, job offer. That's the mindset you're going to be thinking. Job offer from the principal or interviewer. By the way, when it comes to your interview, think of this. You are just casually telling your interviewer that buy me, buy me. I want to sell myself to you, which means you make sure that you know what you're doing, you know what you're going to offer, and you know that their number one thing is for you to become a good addition to their school. So make sure you know about classroom styles, classroom learnings, classroom management, and how to become a good team um, addition to the team, and how to become a team player. That's what I wanted to say. So it's about a community here in the United States. So when it comes to teachers, that's what they're looking for. And aside from a pocket money and money that you have to prepare for the process, because even though it's a direct hiring, you still have to pay from $3,000 to $5,000 and do an exchange rate when it comes to that process. So it's gonna be something that you have to prepare out of from your pocket. So make sure that you have a sponsoring agency once you get your job offer. And then if there are sponsoring agencies, since you got your job offer already, if you wanted to have zero fees, you can have EPI. Let me know if you want me to send all these information to you. The links, they're all free. Just let me know. I can send it to you through your email. Then it could be TPG, GTP, FACES, which is facesinc.org. Also GEC, which is gecexchange.com. That those are the visa sponsors with zero fees. With fees, which I had this on my end because I have my agency during that time, I paid for my visa sponsor. In addition to that, another visa sponsor is CICD Global Opportunities or Intrax. Also, Spirit Cultural Exchange, Green Heart, International Alliance Abroad. Those are the specific um, visa sponsor that you can reach out once you have your job offer. You always wanting to land a job offer. And aside from that, look at how much is the annual salary that you're going to be getting, and then look at the cost of living. Ask somebody here in the US like, "Hey, like for example, in Minnesota or like for example in North Carolina, ask particular teachers that you know of, how much is your salary?" If they don't want to tell you, then just ask them, what's the price range? Well, how much is the range? Or you can research Google, you can research online how much it is and the cost of living. Is it expensive in North Carolina? Is it expensive in Florida? what is the cost of living, because you're still gonna pay for your rent, you're still gonna pay for your car. If ever you know how to drive a car, it's very important to know how to drive. If you don't know, then you can practice here. That is your way to really go to different places, and transportation is really important here in the US. Note, you have to budget 3,000 to 5,000 US dollars for the overall process and pocket money when you arrive in the United States of America. Other things to be done: once you are here in the US, you have to go and get your social security card, blueprint, which is needed for your visa sponsor or for your from your employer, state teaching exam if you want to teach further. You can get a state teaching exam, which is very important since you can reciprocate that in different states. And once you do that, you're free to go wherever as long as your visa sponsor. If you are a J1 teacher, they are willing to sponsor you in that specific school. Then you also have to update your sponsoring agency. Pay attention to housing. Number one, very important. Housing is very important. Transportation and your surroundings. You don't want to end up living in a ghetto place, which means those are communities that are low when it comes to their income, and there's lots of crime rate. You don't want to be in that situation. Also, you might end up in a ghetto neighborhood that is very unsafe, so make sure you know what you're going through. Then prayers, that is the number one thing that you have to do. Ask the Lord, is it the time for you to fly and explore better horizon, or make sure that you are really thinking for not just for yourself to better yourself or to have growth personally, but how can this help your family? How can this impact your finances? Because we all know as Filipinos, when we go to a certain country as an OFW or you name it, person that is working abroad, you really need to have a loan. And how can you repay that? Can you repay that in a year or two? Can you tell your family, hey, can we sacrifice a little bit? That way I can give you more after 3 to 5 years? Because that's going to be the thing. It's not easy to live here. You're going to be all alone whenever you're sick. You still have to get up and go to work. That's how America is. That's why this is a very progressive country, because everyone is doing their best to survive, to make sure that they also have something for themselves. And for those Filipinos like us, we wanted to give back to our home country by sending some funds to our family back home, especially if you're a breadwinner. So think of those situations and think of yourself as well. That's how you love yourself. You put yourself first and you pray to God. If this is the will of God for you, reach out to the right people, reach out to those people that already has experiences here in the US. There is a good, a bad, and something unexpected that will happen in your life. Just like me, I never really thought that I could find my American husband here. But I have a desire already in my heart that I said, God, I'm a single Filipina going to the US. Do you think I'm gonna find my partner here? Which he did. So I am so thankful to God for that chance. And nobody is going to help you but yourself. And your relationship to the Lord is what will really help you to thrive. I'm telling you, based on my own experience, it's not easy to teach here. I'm gonna tell you ahead of time. I'll not sugarcoat, because this is a thing that you have to fight for. I even have a J1 teacher friend. She has a lot of friends here in the US, but she is placed by a visa sponsor in a different state. She really thought she can survive. Yes, she did. But after a few months, she decided to go back to the Philippines because of her mental health. She's always crying every night. She is missing her family. She doesn't know what to do anymore, and she feels like she's going to she's going to be crazy. So please make sure that if this is your passion, this is gonna be it. This is gonna be your courageous move, because teaching here is not easy. Kids in your home country is very different when it comes to the US. Your teaching styles matter. Your classroom management matter, and how you reach out to your team, how you reach out to your academic coach matter, how you present yourself matter. So those are the things that I can give you as a previous school teacher, and I'm willing to help if ever you wanted to do a direct route, direct hiring in going to the United States of America. And now I am enjoying the privileges that God has given to me in a way. Hello, thank you so much for being here, Steve. And I'm really hoping, yeah, English language, please. I can't translate those languages that you are typing, but thank you for the comments and thank you for staying with us here in our live video. And for those who are really wanting to teach here, you can teach in Arizona Department of Education, Florida Department of Education, New Mexico Department of Education. Secure a job offer. Repeat with me, job offer. So, as a summary, because I'm a school teacher, previous school teacher, this is what we're gonna do: prepare ourselves, prepare our pockets, prepare our families. Once we prepare everything, we prepare our minds, we are going to apply. Resume, foreign credential evaluation, cover letters, recommendations from your supervisor and your principal. That's very good. Also, secure a job offer. Once you secure a job offer through the different schools or school districts here in the US, find find a visa sponsor, whether with full placement, zero fees, or with fees that you can put a little bit for like a privately funded, because the DS 2019 is also important. Then you're gonna have your embassy interview and all other things that you have to prepare, and make sure you pass. Once you pass the embassy interview, you're gonna give you your J1 visa or H1B visa, and it's going to be a very productive time for you, and that will be a very surprising thing in the year 2025. This is the time to have your American dream teaching here in the US, whether as a J1 teacher or an H1B visa holder. Again, reach out to me if you wanting to get the free um, link that I can give you, the free template on the application as an international teacher in the US, do it yourself guide, direct hiring. I already have J1 teachers that I'm helping through J1 Waiver Helping Hands group. Please consider to give us a like, share, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Powerful Couple Journey. That way we could tell that there's one YouTube channel that is really willing to help and give you insights and ideas on how to achieve your American dream. Thank you so much and see you on my next video. God bless.